The dark sky above Draxis 9 is silent. No birds, no wind. No sound, only the sound of a heavy ship landing on cold black sand. 5 alien soldiers step out of the craft. Their boots crush the dry ground. Their armor shines in the weak red light from a dying sun. Commander Verak looks around. His breathing is slow, controlled. Draxis 9 was marked as an empty world. No life, no movement, but the scanner said something is moving underground. Stay sharp, Verak says. His voice is low and calm. If anything moves, shoot. The team spreads out in a circle. The air smells strange, like old metal and dust. Soldier Reth kneels and checks the soil. It's soft and warm. That is not normal. This planet is dead. No heat should be here. Commander, something is wrong, Reth whispers. Verak turns. His scanner shows a pulse. Something is only 10 meters away. The soldiers move slowly toward the signal. Their lights cut through the mist. Then one of them sees it. Bones, Soldier Lyra says. In the sand, half buried, lies a human skeleton. Not alien, not machine, human. Its skull is cracked but clean. Its hands are reaching out, like it was crawling before death. But humans are supposed to be extinct in this part of the galaxy. This is impossible, Verak mutters. The soldiers step closer. Lyra kneels and shines her light on the bones. And then something happens. The bones move. The skull turns slowly. The jaw clicks. A soft sound like dry wood breaking. The soldiers jump back, weapons ready. It's alive! Reth shouts, but there is no heart. No flesh, just cold white bones, moving on their own. The skeleton drags its hand through the sand, pulling itself toward them. One finger taps against a metal plate buried nearby. Tap, tap, tap. The tapping gets faster. This shouldn't be real, Verak whispers. This planet has no humans. The bones keep moving. They make a strange grinding sound as they crawl, so it feels like the planet is breathing. Soldier Tarek points his rifle and fires a warning shot into the ground. Dust explodes. The skeleton stops for a second. Then its head turns again, this time toward Verak. Back! Verak orders. But behind the bones in the dark mist, something else is shining. First symbol carved in black stone. A human military symbol. Old ancient. Lyra touches her scanner. Commander, there's a tunnel under us, deep. Verak nods slowly. This was not just a dead planet. This was a battlefield long ago. The skeleton's hand reaches the stone and presses a hidden point. The ground shakes. A low rumble grows louder. The sand begins to sink, like a giant mouth opening. The soldiers stumble as the entrance of a cave forms in front of them. Cold air rushes out, smelling like rust and old death. Verak steadies himself and looks down into the black hole. This place is not empty, he says. The skeleton slides toward the entrance and disappears inside the cave. Not walking, not alive, just moving like something is controlling it. The mist grows heavier. The sun disappears behind a dark red cloud. The air becomes colder. Every sound dies away. Commander. What now? Tarek asks. His voice shakes. We follow, Verak replies. Lyra stares at him. Follow? That thing is not natural. We came for answers. We don't run. The team steps closer to the cave. Their lights shine down. Inside, the walls are covered with old human writing. Lines, marks, military codes. But there is something else too, scratches, deep and fresh. Like something inside is trying to get out. As Verak steps forward, he notices small bone fragments scattered at the entrance. Each piece twitches, moving like tiny insects. He doesn't say a word. The skeleton that disappeared earlier is now standing at the bottom of the cave. Its empty eyes look up at the team. Then it lifts its arm slowly, pointing deeper into the darkness. It wants us to go in, Reth whispers. Verak breathes out. His breath fogs the air. Then we go in. The team lowers themselves into the cave. One by one, step by step. The air is colder. The tunnel is narrow. The sound of their armor echoes against the walls. Behind them, the entrance slowly begins to close, the sand moving like water. The commander looks back. The ship is no longer visible. Only darkness remains. Far inside the cave, something moves again. Not one skeleton this time, many. The sound is soft at first, like bones clicking together, then louder, like hundreds of dry hands dragging across stone. Verak raises his weapon. Stay ready, he says. The soldiers form a circle. Their lights shine into the deep black tunnel, and then Hundreds of white shapes slowly crawl out of the darkness. They are all human skeletons, broken, cracked, but moving. Their skulls turn toward the team one by one. In the silence, the sound of clicking bones fills the air. It's like a heartbeat made of death. Varric whispers only one thing. "This is not a grave." This is a warning. The lights flicker. The cave breathes. And the army of the dead takes its first step toward the living. The cave is silent, but the silence is not empty. It breathes. It listens. Commander Varric leads the squad deeper into the tunnel. Their boots crunch on bone fragments. Every step echoes like a whisper. Lights up. No one falls behind, Varric says. 4 helmet lights cut through the black air. Thick mist rolls across the ground like cold smoke. It's colder now. Their breath hangs in the air like white fog. Soldier Lyra scans the walls. The stone is covered with strange human symbols, old military marks, but mixed with something else. Claw marks, deep, sharp, fresh. "These marks," she whispers. "They're new." Reth shivers. His armor feels heavier. "New humans are gone." "How can they be new?" Lyra doesn't answer. The cave answers for her. A soft sound like fingers tapping on stone comes from the darkness ahead. Tap, tap, tap. The soldiers freeze. Weapons up. Heart beats loud in their helmets. Varric slowly moves forward. The sound grows louder. Tap, tap, tap. Then it stops. They enter a wider chamber, a huge round space. Light reflects on something white. Reth gasps. "What is this?" The walls and floor are covered with human bones. Skulls stacked in perfect rows. Rib cages arranged like shields. Arms crossed like soldiers standing at attention. It looks like a bone army sleeping. In the center of the chamber stands a tall stone pillar. Symbols burn faintly on its surface, the same ancient human military mark they saw outside. A circle, a sword. A star. Lyra steps closer to the bones. They are clean, smooth, no dust, no decay. As if someone or something watches over them. "They're not dead," she whispers. Suddenly a soft vibration moves through the floor. The bones rattle. The skulls turn just a little. Tarek curses under his breath. "They moved. I swear they moved." "Hold your line," Varric orders. The pillar in the center glows brighter. The light is cold and green. Then slowly one of the skeletons stands up. Its movements are quiet but precise, like a trained soldier obeying orders. It lifts its arm and salutes the pillar. Lyra steps back. Reth's hands shake. "Commander." "This is not magic. This is control. Someone is controlling them." Varric looks at the pillar. His scanner shows no heat, no life signs, but something is active, a signal. For a deep pulse, not radio, not light, something older. The floor shakes again. 2 more skeletons rise. They stand straight, like soldiers at attention. "This is a graveyard," Varric says softly, "but the soldiers never left." Then the pillar begins to project light. Green lines shoot into the air and form shapes. A human figure appears in the hologram, a man in old war armor. His face is gone, but his stance is strong. He raises his hand, a voice fills the chamber. Not through speakers, directly in their minds. "This land remembers war. This land remembers blood." The aliens grab their heads. The voice is heavy, like iron pressing on the skull. Tarek falls to one knee. "Commander." "It's inside my head." "Stay focused." Varric shouts. The hologram points toward a dark hallway behind the pillar. And then the voice whispers again, "Down below." The war never ended. The skeleton soldiers begin to march toward the hallway. Their bones click in perfect rhythm, click, click, click. The sound is slow, but full of purpose. The team steps back, weapons raised. But the skeletons ignore them. They just march forward like they are reporting to a commander long dead. Reth looks at Varric. "We should leave." Varric shakes his head. "We came for the source. If we leave, we learn nothing." Lyra swallows hard. She can feel the cold crawling into her suit. "Or we don't leave at all." The green light grows brighter. Symbols on the walls start moving, like they're alive. Letters shift, spin, and form new words in human language. For the war. The floor cracks open beneath the pillar. A dark spiral staircase goes down. The skeleton soldiers keep marching, one after another, into the darkness. Varric looks at his team. "We follow." "Are you insane?" Reth whispers. "That's suicide." "No, that's the mission." One by one, they move toward the staircase. The sound of bones marching mixes with the sound of their metal boots. Down below, it smells like blood and old steel. It feels like walking into a memory that refuses to die. Halfway down the stairs, Tarek looks up. The entrance above them closes, sealing them inside. "Commander." "We're trapped." Varric doesn't answer. His eyes are fixed on the bottom of the stairs. At the bottom, there's a massive chamber. Even from here, they can see a strange green light glowing through the cracks. But something else is there too. They can hear it, and a low breathing sound, not from lungs, from the bones themselves. As they reach the floor, the last skeleton in the marching line turns its head and stares directly at Varric. Its jaw opens. A voice, not its own, speaks again. "Welcome back, soldiers." The green light explodes across the walls. The floor begins to move like the planet is waking up. The soldiers raise their weapons. They are no longer just exploring a cave. They are standing inside a sleeping war machine. The spiral staircase ends in a massive underground chamber. The air is heavy, like it hasn't been breathed in 1,000 years. Green light leaks from the cracks in the floor like veins of fire. The soldiers move slowly. Their lights hit walls made of black stone, covered with old human military symbols. Big letters carved deep into the stone read, "The war never ends." Varric steps forward, scanning the room. The floor is made of metal plates fused with bones, real human bones. It's as if the planet itself has swallowed the dead. "This is not a cave," Varric says quietly. "This is a base." Lyra crouches near the wall. She touches the surface. A low hum responds, like the wall is alive. "Commander!" "It's active," she whispers. Something here is still working. In the center of the chamber stands a dark console, half covered in dust and bones. It looks human, but mixed with alien metal. Something old. And dangerous. The skeleton soldiers that march before them now stand in perfect formation. They face the console like loyal guards waiting for their orders. Tarek breathes hard. "They're waiting." "For someone." "Not someone," Varric says. "Something." Reth approaches the console slowly. As his hand gets close, the console turns on by itself. A blinding green light fills the chamber. The bones around the walls shake. The ground rumbles like a heartbeat. The console projects a hologram into the air. A massive figure appears. A human commander in old war armor, helmet cracked but still standing tall. His voice is calm and cold. "This is General Kale of the Human Defense Corps. If you are hearing this, then the enemy has returned." Lyra's eyes widen. "General Kale, that's over 400 years ago." The hologram continues. "We knew they would come again. So we built this place. We gave our soldiers something the enemy could never destroy. Even death." The skeleton army moves their heads together, a single sharp click. The hologram's voice grows harder. "We removed the weak flesh. We kept the will to fight." A war does not end when bodies die. A war ends when the will dies. And our will lives forever. The chamber fills with the sound of bones grinding, metal humming, and a heartbeat made of echoes. Reth steps back. "They made themselves into weapons." Varric looks at the skeleton soldiers. Their empty eye sockets stare straight ahead. Loyal, ready, silent. "This is not a grave," Varric whispers. "This is an army." The hologram shows old war footage. Humans fighting against alien fleets. Huge battleships burning in space. Ground battles full of blood and fire. One by one, humans fall. But then their bones rise again. Alien soldiers shoot at them, but they keep coming. They fight without fear, without pain, without mercy. Tarek clenches his fists. "My grandfather's people fought in this war," he mutters. "We thought humans were gone. But they're still here. In this place." The hologram flickers. "The human body is weak," the voice says. "But the human will is strong. Stronger than death. When the enemy returns, so will we." Then the green light shifts and the hologram turns its head. It looks directly at Varric. Even though it's not alive, the commander's gaze feels real. "Who are you?" Varric whispers, the hologram answers. "Enemy." Suddenly the console sends out a shockwave. The skeleton soldiers turn their heads toward the alien team in one single movement. Click. Their formation changes. They are no longer standing still. They are ready to fight. "Weapons up!" Varric shouts. The chamber explodes with sound as dozens of skeletons start marching toward them. Their steps are heavy, perfect, precise. Lyra fires a warning shot. The bullet shatters a skull, but the bones reform in seconds. "They don't die!" she screams. The green veins in the floor glow brighter. The entire base is waking up. Tarek throws a flash bomb. It explodes with white light. The skeletons pause, but only for a heartbeat. Varric drags his team behind a broken wall. "We can't win this with guns," he says. "We need to find their control core." Lyra points at the console. "That's where it started. Then that's where it ends." But before they can move, something massive shakes the chamber. The floor splits open. A giant figure rises from below. A bone warlord, built from hundreds of skeletons fused together. Its skull wears an old human military helmet. Its eyes burn with green light. It points its massive bony hand at the alien squad. "Enemy detected," a cold, layered voice says. The war continues. The smaller skeleton soldiers drop to one knee like they're saluting their commander. Tarek's voice breaks. "We're not fighting soldiers. We're fighting a dead army." Varric looks at the towering bone warlord. "Then we fight like we never have before." The chamber fills with the sound of thousands of clicking bones like a storm of death. The ancient war has begun again. The chamber shakes like a living beast. Dust falls from the ceiling. Green light burns brighter across the floor, as if the planet itself is waking up. The alien squad takes cover behind a broken wall. In front of them, the bone warlord stands like a tower of death, made from hundreds of fused skeletons. Its burning green eyes lock onto Varric's team. Around it, hundreds of skeleton soldiers march in perfect formation. The sound is like a storm of bones. Click, clicker, clicker, growing louder and louder. "They're surrounding us," Lyra whispers. "I can see that," Varric replies, voice low and steady. Tarek loads his weapon. His hands shake. "Commander!" "What's the plan?" "Survive," Varric says, "and find that control core." The bone army begins to move. One by one they step closer, their movements cold and mechanical. Their skulls turn in perfect unison, eyes burning like green fire. Reth fires first. The bullet hits a skeleton's skull. It shatters wound, but the pieces pull back together. The skeleton stands again, untouched. "It's useless," Reth yells. Varric throws a plasma grenade. The blast tears through 5 skeletons. For a moment, the green light flickers. Bones fly everywhere, but the fragments crawl back, reform, and stand again. "They can't die," Lyra breathes. The bone warlord raises its massive arm. The army stops. Then, in one single motion, they charge. The sound is deafening. The floor shakes. The walls vibrate. It's like the ground itself is fighting them. "Fall back." Varric orders. The squad runs toward a corridor on the right side of the chamber. Skeletons chase them like a tidal wave. Tarek turns and fires a shock round, blowing part of the tunnel ceiling down. Rocks fall, slowing the skeletons, but not stopping them. They reach a metal blast door. Lyra hacks the panel, fingers flying over controls. The door creaks open just in time. The team slips inside and slams it shut. Bang, bang, bang. The skeletons hit the door from the other side. Metal bends but doesn't break. Not yet. "This isn't going to hold," Tarek says. "Then we move fast," Varric replies. They enter a control hallway filled with cables, bones, and flickering human screens. Reth checks the map on his wrist scanner. "Commander!" The core is below us. 2 levels down. The banging behind the door grows louder. They can hear the bones scraping through the cracks. Lyra finds a small shaft leading deeper down. "Here, we can crawl through." Varric nods. "Go now." They slide into the shaft one by one. The metal is cold. The air smells like dust and rust. Above them, the door finally bursts. The sound of bones fills the hallway. "Move!" Varric shouts. They drop into a smaller chamber. The walls are covered in veins of green light, like glowing roots. And in the center, a giant human skull, attached to metal cables and machines. It pulses like a beating heart. "That's it," Lyra whispers. "That's the core." The skull suddenly opens its mouth. A distorted human voice echoes through the chamber. "Enemy. Defeat. Not accepted." The skeleton soldiers pour into the room from every direction. "They're everywhere!" Reth shouts. Varric raises his weapon. "Then we make our stand here." The aliens open fire. Plasma rounds cut through skeletons, breaking them apart. Grenades light up the chamber. But the bones keep reforming, crawling across the floor like living worms. The bone warlord smashes through the wall. Its massive body shakes the ground. It raises its arm and crushes the metal floor like paper. "Commander!" Lyra screams. Varric dives, rolling under a giant bone fist. The warlord's roar echoes like 100 voices screaming together. Tarek climbs onto a platform, pulling out a heavy charge. If we can't kill it, we blow the core. Do it! Verak shouts. But before Tarek can plant the charge, a skeleton grabs his leg and drags him down. He screams as dozens of bony hands pull at him. Tarek! Lyra yells. Reth fires and frees him, but the skeletons keep coming. There's no end. We can't win this fight, Reth says. We're outnumbered. Verak looks at the pulsing skull core. We don't win. We end it. He grabs the charge and runs straight toward the core, skeletons grabbing at him from every side. One claws his shoulder, another breaks part of his armor. But Verak doesn't stop. He slams the charge onto the skull. Lyra, detonate! But you'll do it! The Bone Warlord roars and swings its massive arm at Verak. The commander dives aside as the explosion goes off. Boom! The chamber explodes in green and white light. The skull shatters. Skeletons scream without voices. Their bones collapse into piles. The warlord drops to its knees, its eyes fading to black. The team lies on the floor, ears ringing. The green veins on the walls fade. For a moment, there is silence. Is it over? Reth whispers. The warlord's skull tilts up. A faint green light flickers back on inside its empty eyes. No, Verak says. It's not. The ground begins to shake again. From the cracks, more bones start to move. We bought time, Verak says. But the war isn't done. Lyra looks around at the mountain of bones starting to crawl again. Then we run. They grab their gear and rush toward the emergency tunnel. Behind them, the chamber fills with the sound of rising bones, louder than ever. The warlord's broken jaw moves slowly, whispering a final message. The war continues. The tunnel lights flicker as they run into the darkness. The dead army is not gone. It's only waking up. The tunnel shakes like a living creature. Alarms echo from deep inside the ancient base. Green veins of light crawl along the walls, like the planet itself is breathing. Commander Verak runs at the front, his armor cracked, shoulder bleeding. Behind him, Lyra and Reth follow closely. Tarek limps but keeps up. The sound behind them is growing louder. Click, click, click. The bones are moving again. They're not stopping, Reth pants. That explosion only slowed them down. I know, Verak answers, but we're not done yet. They reach a heavy blast door at the end of the tunnel. Lyra slams her hand against the control pad. The lights flicker red. It's locked. The sound behind them grows sharper. Dozens, maybe hundreds of skeleton soldiers crawling through the tunnels. Tarek pushes forward. Let me. He connects a charge to the panel. The door sparks, groans, and slides open just enough for them to squeeze through. They stumble into a huge control chamber. This one is different. No bones on the walls. No skeletons standing guard. Just one massive holographic display in the center, showing a map of the galaxy. Lyra looks at the display. Commander, this isn't just a base. This is a command station. Dozens of red marks light up across the map. Reth steps closer, eyes wide. Those are other locations. Not one base, Verak whispers. An entire network. The voice returns, cold, calm, heavy. Human war engine activated. The walls begin to glow with green light again. The map pulses like a beating heart. Lyra taps the console. There's a failsafe here. Something big. Commander, it's a planetary fusion bomb. A bomb? Tarek gasps. Big enough to wipe this planet clean, Lyra finishes. And everything on it. The skeleton army's footsteps echo closer down the tunnel. They don't have much time. Verak stands before the console. Two options flash on the cracked display. Activate bomb, integrate command. Lyra frowns. Integrate command? What does that mean? A soft hum fills the room. Then the Bone Warlord steps through the tunnel. Even broken, it looks terrifying. Its armor fused with bone. Its skull helmet cracked, but the green fire in its eyes burns brighter than before. Enemy, it says, voice layered and deep. You stand where we once stood. Verak raises his rifle. Stay back. The warlord takes one slow, powerful step forward. We died for war. We lived for war. Now we command war. The hologram above the console changes. A human commander's face flickers into view. The same one they saw earlier. General Kyle. His voice is calm, almost human. Alien soldier, Kyle says. You can run. But you cannot win, or you can join. Lyra stares at the screen. Join? What is he talking about? They want a new commander, Varric says. The warlord steps closer, bone feet cracking the floor beneath it. Merge and fight with us or die. Like the rest, the console hums louder. The bomb countdown option blinks red. A timer appears, 0:45, Tarek's hands shake. Commander, we can blow the planet. End all of this. Right now, Lyra looks at Varric, voice trembling. Or you can integrate and control them. The warlord tilts its head. This war needs a leader. The footsteps of the skeleton army fill the tunnel. Hundreds of skulls appear behind the warlord. Silent, waiting. Varric's heart pounds. His finger hovers over the console. Bomb or merge. End it or become part of it. He looks at his team. Lyra's eyes beg him not to stay. Tarek is ready to die fighting. Reth is just breathing hard, frozen. Commander, Lyra whispers, whatever you choose, choose fast. 0:25, the warlord lowers its arm. Choose. Varric looks at the blinking red light. If he presses the bomb, the planet dies. But so does his team. If he merges, he becomes something else. Not human. Not alien. Something in between. Po-15, he whispers something only his team can hear. War ends when someone refuses to keep fighting, and then... Varric presses a button. The console erupts in light. Green energy swirls around him, lifting him off the ground. His armor cracks. His body floats in the air. Lyra screams his name, but can't reach him. The warlord kneels before him. The skeleton army lowers their heads. The hologram of General Kyle fades, replaced by Varric's face. His eyes glow green. Command accepted, the base says. The bomb timer vanishes. The green light spreads across the entire room. Lyra stumbles backward. No. The warlord's voice echoes one last time. The war has a new leader. The skeleton soldiers turn in unison. Their steps grow louder, marching into the tunnels. The planet's heart beats again. Lyra, Reth, and Tarek watch Varric standing at the center, silent, glowing, no longer fully himself. Outside, in the black sky, other ancient bases begin to light up. One by one, red dots turn green on the galactic map. The human war machine has awakened. Here's just the beginning, Lyra whispers. The camera pulls away. Green light spreads across the dead world. And somewhere far in space, an army of the dead prepares to march again.